Welcome, guys, to episode 18 of Suitcase Divas podcast. My name is Denise Bubaldi with Redbirds Travel.
And I'm Cheryl Garcia with ABCD
Yeah,
Adventures.
so let's go there. So, this episode, we will be discussing New Year's Eve, where you go, what you do, and maybe some resolutions and some travel resolutions. So, yeah, let's go there. What do you think, Cheryl? What are some of your New Year's Eve like happening? What do you do? I know what you do, but I want to hear it.
Well, I
I
know
want to hear it.
for the last, several years, we've been doing this for 6 to 8 years now, outside of COVID. I host New Year's Eve. We usually do a
Yep.
theme. Our very first theme was casino night, I think. I think we did a casino night, and we've had black and white night. We've had red carpet. We've done Mardi Gras one year.
Yes.
What else? I can't
I
think of
think
all the themes we've
uh
done.
uh I want to say, what did we do with the gowns? That was
Oh,
yeah,
prom.
prom. I remember
We
that one too.
we did,
Hmm.
yep, we did a prom one. Last year we actually didn't have a theme, and everybody had a blast with it,
I was
but
like,
I missed not having a
I was
theme.
there last year too, and I will be there this year. What's
Yes.
so are you ready to announce this year's theme, Cheryl?
Yes, this year's theme we're doing the Roaring Twenties.
Yeah, baby.
Think Great Gatsby, think Prohibition. That's kind of what the vibe's going to be.
Oh,
I've
so
got
we
some
have to
great
sneak
decor
our alcohol
ideas.
in there?
Yeah, I've got some little ideas for hiding with our brown bags if you're hiding your bottle.
Ooh,
I've
I like being
got
sneaky, Cheryl.
I know, I've got some really, and the decor is going to be pretty much black and gold because that was kind of like the theme when they did their formal stuff. They're really think Great Gatsby and the gangsters and the
Ooh.
flappers. That's the vibe I'm going
I
for.
already know I have a gold gown that is going to go fabulous. And then what if, I don't know, I might try to do my hair like the pin curls or whatever they had back
Oh,
then.
yes.
I don't know. This,
I'm not sure what I'm gonna wear yet. I do have a black gown, but I think I wore it for the black and white New Year's, so I might get a
but that
different
was
one. But I
years
do know I'm
ago. That
getting,
was years ago.
I know, but I always look for a reason to buy a new
Oh,
fancy
well,
dress
honey, I'm
because I
not
like
going to
to dress
stop you
up.
if you want looking for a reason to
Yeah.
get a new
But I
gown.
do know I'm going to get the ostrich feathers, the headbands, the gloves,
Ooh,
I already have the long pearls. I used it for another outfit. So yeah, it's gonna be
I'm
so much
excited.
fun.
I'm super stoked.
Yeah. And fancy champagne. Well, not fancy champagne, but I'm going to make it look fancy
That's
because
right.
we're bougie on a budget.
That's damn straight. I hear you.
Yes. So it's going to look great. Also, we'll all obviously have our karaoke because
Oh,
we do
shit.
have that usually. So I will have that set up, but
Oh.
it's going to be a great night. But that's what we have done for the last several years. During COVID, when we didn't get a chance to have the big parties, we usually just have family game night where we just hang out. But that's my biggest, I've enjoyed that the most the last, gosh, six, eight
And I've
years doing
enjoyed it as
hosting New
well.
Year's.
Thank you for being the hostess with the mostest. And
Anytime. So yeah, stay tuned because we'll post pictures of the divas at
we'll
New
post
Year's
what
Eve Roaring
pictures we
Twenties.
can.
Right. Yes,
We haven't
absolutely.
started our Suitcase Divas After Dark just yet, but that might be part of 2024.
Right.
But we're
So
gonna try to keep it PC and clean. I do know that some it's depended on the year, but yeah, during COVID, obviously I wasn't at your shindig because nobody was anywhere, so I just kind of watched the ball drop on the TV just like we all do. Um, but I've never been to New York during the ball drop, but it's just too cold. I that's not my bag and too crowded. I don't. We were just in Times Square and walking in that massive. You literally feel like a salmon swimming upstream with like thousands of other salmon and other ones coming down. It was crazy. It is too many people. I'm a small town girl, so that's just
I it
me.
going to the ball drop used to be my bucket list. Like I would look up deals, I would figure out because we were stationed in Jersey for a couple years and I'm like, we could go do this. Our kids were very young. Alexis was a baby, but I've outgrown desire. I don't need to be in that crowd. I love the vibe.
No, it's
Absolutely love
beautiful.
New
And
York
it
City.
depends on your
Yeah.
personality, I suppose, but I'm a bit claustrophobic in general. And it's just too many people in one area for me. But it's
Well, even some of
beautiful.
the
It
locals.
looks good on the
Yeah.
screen and it's a very festive time. Oh, I just got
Well,
some
and the locals we
shiprock.
talked to while we were in New York, they said, it's kind of underwhelming when you're there because the ball's so small, depending on where you are. You can't move, you can't go anywhere. It's not
It
as
looks better on TV.
it does. That's the vibe they
Well,
were
and
putting
we
that they
kind
were
of got
saying.
that underwhelming vibe with the whole Rockefeller Center and the tree and the ice skating because they make it look so grandiose and, in all of this social media marketing, this is an amazing place to be. But what they don't tell you when you're there is that they've got it all blocked off and you can't get easily to the skating rink if you're on the other side of the tree. And there's all this one way. And I guess that is for traffic flow, so to speak. But
Right.
it's not all pretty like they make it look in the movies.
And it's not as big as they make it seem. We actually enjoyed more of the other Christmas
Yeah,
attractions at the other places than we
agreed.
did the times or the
Yeah.
Rockefeller Center.
hmm
But
But it was
but we
fun.
know that's New Year's Eve is a bucket list item. I know some people go to Vegas and things like that when they
Not my
for
bag.
New
Yep.
Year's. New Orleans, I bet would be
I would
amazing.
love to do New Orleans.
I think New Orleans at New Year's Eve would absolutely be amazing.
hmm
But if you are going to travel, let's talk about resolutions to become a better traveler for 2024.
Yeah, so right, absolutely. Do you want to handle the first one, Cheryl? We came across this article by CNN, and it's the title of it is honestly just saying 6 New Year's resolutions you should make to become a better traveler in 2024.
So their first one they talk about is auditing your airline and hotel loyalty accounts. So honestly, wherever you travel, whether it be by plane, train, whatever, and whatever hotels you stay at, almost all of them have some type of
Yep,
loyalty
yep, they sure
program.
do.
And they're usually like 90% of the time, there's no fee involved. Anytime, and I know we all get annoyed asking to sign up. You should have a junk email where you keep all that stuff together, but you should sign up for that because so many of the, especially hotels, those chains are so big. Even if you're going for a night away at a smaller hotel off the side of the highway, often that's included in one of the loyalty programs for the bigger versions of the chain hotel.
Right.
So, or the main um, umbrella of that company. So what you want to do is you want to go through your travel for the year. What hotels did you stay at? Are those linked? Are you getting the points? Are you getting the credit for those accounts? Your airline. I didn't know I've made this mistake so many times, even though I will book my flight directly through my usually my app. If I'm booking personal, I'll go through that. It doesn't automatically always add your loyalty number
Right.
to
I've run
your
into that
ticket.
as well, yeah.
Right. So you've got, and especially if you're booking with a travel agent, make sure they're asking you for your loyalty number. Make sure they're adding your loyalty number to that so that you, even when you book through a travel agent, you can still get the
And
credit for
tell
that.
your travel agent that you have a loyalty number because we're not just going to assume that you have one. That's stuff that I would
Right.
ask my clients. But if you know you have a
Same.
loyalty number or, all of that, you're going to say, hey, give this to me because sometimes it can get you a better deal or some upgrades. So you just want to
Right.
always give that information, make that forthcoming when you're booking any type of travel.
And it's a good idea to go if you have a credit card that gives you travel rewards.
Yes.
It's a good thing at this time to go and check what the expiration is on those. Are they at the end of the calendar year? Do they have a different fiscal? What is the end of a use or lose by for any points you've accumulated on your credit cards? So it's a good time of the year right now to go back and look through all of your
Yep.
travel and make sure you're getting credit for all of the things that you've
Yeah,
done.
agreed. Agreed. So the next thing,
And often,
oh,
oh, hold
go
on one
ahead,
second.
go
I
ahead.
do want to say this.
Yeah,
If you, as you're going back through, if you realize you're not signed up for, say you stayed at a random hotel and it's not one you normally stay at, you're not signed up for their loyalty, or you weren't at the time that you stayed, often they will let you backdate some of
yeah,
those up to a certain amount of
sure.
time. So again, as you're looking through it, if you're not connected to a loyalty program, make sure you reach out and look at or you can reach out to us and we can help you with that information as well. But you can sometimes add a past trip onto the current one and get credit for that.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. That's good advice for sure. So the next thing they talk about in this article is they say expedite the airport experience with Clear. So Clear, we're not super familiar with, but I will tell you that it's essentially helping you get through the long lines at the airport. So they use a biometric data to identify their travelers rather than manually checking with a photo ID. They so it's essentially saying they use a separate lane and they use biometrics such as fingerprints and iris scans. It's $180, $89 a year, and some of your credit cards will offset that. I will say we got the TSA pre-check. So I think it's kind of a competitor to the TSA pre-check that we got. But what's not clear and anything that I have seen is who owns Clear? It just says American Technology Company. But TSA PreCheck is through the Border Patrol, like your immigration.
PSA, yeah.
Yeah. So I think having TSA PreCheck would be just as beneficial as Clear.
And the price is
It's about the
better
same.
for TSA.
Well, right. And you get it longer
No,
than for 1 year because TSA is for like
right.
5 years, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, we only paid less than a hundred
$89.
dollars,
Yep. So it's like
and
half
that's
the price,
180
less
a
than half the
year.
price for sure.
Right.
And then they also talk about making immigration process getting through the airports global entry. So if you've not heard of global entry, that's essentially you give it's kind of like you go for an interview, you give all this information, you get your background checked, all of that stuff, and it allows you to go through customs and border protection to expedite for if you're going to get through customs. So
Yeah, and that they did tell us the reason why we hadn't gotten it yet, and the people we did talk to that have gone through it, it takes months to get the
it does.
global one, and you have to go through an interview. Like there's a lot going
Background
on.
check, all of that. And I will say that if you do get global entry, that also automatically covers your TSA pre-check. So if so we just got the TSA pre-check because we knew we were going on this cruise and we did not have time to go ahead and get global entry. But I do not regret getting TSA pre-check. When we went through
Oh,
the
right. I
airport in
agree.
Charlotte, it was like we were on the fast pass at Disney. Like we were just walking through
Yes.
empty lanes of people like were snaked around. Like imagine easily 300 people in a line, and we just like walked through like we're celebrities. Um,
Right. That was very
it
nice.
was worth its weight in gold. So yeah, for sure. And again, a lot of these credit card companies like the Platinum card from American Express, Chase Sapphire Reserve, they all will reimburse you for the cost of global entry and or TSA PreCheck. So definitely be checking with your credit card programs to see if this is a reimbursement that will cover or partially cover the cost of that. And that will help you get through the lines at the airport. And who does not love that? I mean, that's like
Great.
winning.
So then that leads us into the next one. And this one's pretty cool, which I haven't done yet, but secure access to airport lounges. While you're going through your cards and your travel credit cards and your accounts through your airlines and whatnot, find out about your access to the airport lounges. If they are we've walked by, we had a long layover or a long delay before our flight out of New York, but we just kind of hung out. We didn't really even go through the TSA check, but we had talked about possibly going into American has, I believe it's called the Admiral Lounge, and all the lounges offer you different perks. Most of the time they have food drinks. You that sometimes they'll have even alcoholic drinks that have places where you can nap, places where you can get cleaned up. Not all of them, so you
Right.
have to check into each individual airport, each
Exactly.
individual lounge. Access to those are, usually restricted to certain levels of card holders or frequent flyer travelers. However, most of them do offer a day pass or a trial. It just depends on, like, I know, I can't remember if it was coming from Charlotte or coming from New York. The Admiral Lounge at the time was not taking any day passes. So they were booked out. They had
Gotcha.
sold all their day passes for the
Yep.
day. So go back and make sure, or go back and confirm what your options are for these lounges for different airlines, and see what your cards offer. Because even if you don't, like, I have an American Airlines credit card, but even if you have just a regular travel credit card, that might open up to different airlines, the lounges that they
Yeah.
have. So, and it's a good thing if you're a frequent traveler or if you have a long layover, you want to check
Or
that
if your
out.
flight gets
It's good for,
canceled and then the next one's not till
yes.
5 hours, like you would want to be in a
And if,
place where you can relax and recoup and maybe even work if you have your laptop. It gives you
right,
options for if you're stalled at the airport or if your plans change. It just gives you a much nicer environment to be in.
right.
Yeah. So the next thing they talk about, which is near and dear to my heart, is keep the environment in mind when you are traveling. So we're living in a time of unprecedented change, climate change. We want to be responsible of taking care of the places that we're traveling to and try to reduce our carbon footprint, if you will. So uh, we that comes down to choosing airlines that use sustainable biofuels and taking a high speed train versus maybe flying if it's possible. And also, there are a lot of hotels and resorts that have sustainability as a core part of their mission. And I always am about being green, like using the companies that have that attitude of let's help the environment, let's plant trees, let's like cut down on things that are, you know, global warming. We are our own worst enemy. And if we don't take care of our planet, then we're not going to have anywhere to travel to. So I'm a big,
Right.
big, big advocate of being green, recycling when you can, doing your part to, help sustain our environment when we can. Um,
And when you're traveling, some tips for that: when you're staying at a hotel, reuse your towels. Hang your towels up because they won't wash them if you have them hung up. So don't leave them on the floor. If you can reuse your towels, reuse your
Another
towels.
one is
Um,
water bottles. I reuse my water bottle. I don't go and buy like a
yes,
6 or 12 or 24 pack of water. I reuse my water bottle and it's just basic little things like that. Like so we're not putting more into the recycle or the landfill. Some people don't even recycle their water bottles. They just throw everything away. And
right. And if you are like, say, on a cruise, I don't know if a lot of people didn't know or don't know this because I didn't on my first cruise. They don't usually give you straws, and they'll either have the paper straws or the candy straws for your frozen drinks or something like, or milkshakes or whatnot, or your iced coffee. So bring your reusable straws so that way you're not if you because you're not everybody's gonna like the straws that they offer you on
yeah,
the
and you can
cruise
go
ship.
on
So
Amazon and also get like I've got the blingy little metallic-y looking metal straws and I wash them and reuse
mhm.
them. And even when I go to a restaurant, I'm like, I'm saving the turtles. I've got my own straws. I've been
Yeah.
doing that for years, but that's just me. And I will say, if you have an opportunity to do things that are more natural, like conserve water, choose activities, minimal impact, like hiking, biking, kayaking, stand up paddleboard, anything that doesn't use, gas or things to power. I know it's fun. I get it. I'm just saying, just kind of think about that. Like, if you can make and do tiny steps that make a difference. If we all do that, then we would be in a lot better place.
One of the things we teach and work on really a lot in Girl Scouts is leave no trace behind.
Yes.
Wherever you visit, you should not have known that you were there.
Yep.
So
I'm all about that.
that's kind of like our little motto, leave no trace behind.
Yeah.
But um so that takes us into one of the final ones, go somewhere new.
Yes. There's so many
As
beautiful
a
places out there.
expand your
Yes.
horizons. if you're used to like if you like outdoors but you tend to go up towards the cold, let's try to go somewhere warm and you see the different ecosystems in that area, the different it's just there's so much out there. Let us help
Yeah.
you
And if you don't know where to
explore.
go, ask us, ask a travel agent because we have trainings throughout the year of different places to go and we know what activities and what landscape and what the cultures are there. So we can absolutely help you because this is our job. This is what we are trained to do. So, yeah, I think that was a great article. And if you are looking to travel in 2024, which we hope you are, then you can definitely reach out to us. And if you have some great ideas, some places that you're like, you guys need to be telling everyone to go here, then check in with us. Let us know where are your favorite places to go? What are some hidden gems that you've traveled to that we could be telling others to go there?
Absolutely. So we hope you all have a wonderful New Year's
Yeah.
and
And we are going to be here for you in 2024. And so we look forward to seeing you next year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.